Alright guys, it's Saturday. I got a Swamp Thing ready for the track on Monday for test and tune. So I've got to get this intake just port matched at the throat here just to fit our 70mm throttle body on. So now it looks like a really great time to change out this horrible looking vacuum line I've got here. This thing just completely split when I went to pull it off. So that's what could be hiding underneath your original lower intake. Alright, so for anybody that doesn't know, cleanliness is next to godliness, as they say when it comes to sealing a gasket surface. You gotta have it clean. That's nice to see this thing going back together. I don't know about you guys, but I hate it when my car's down. Alright, so we're going to see if we can't yank the headlight out and make some room for some ram air. It's an old school trick from the magazine days. Sure, you guys can see by now we're trying to do all this on the cheap because we really don't have a lot of money to play with, or any money really. So next step, sewer pipe. Don't forget your safety goggles. Alright guys, so here's our Home Depot sewer pipe. It's gonna be perfect for swamp. I'm gonna have to do some more trimming. Might have to take more than I thought out. Yeah. Huh. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think you guys are gonna like this a lot. Look at that. Sewer pipe ram air. Now the question is, how long should we leave that sticking up front? Oh yeah. So what I've done is put a couple of marks here, couple of marks on the other side. Put our hose clamp on there. Hopefully that'll help us get a straight cut. This point here is going to make it a little bit wider, so once we cut through part way, I'll rotate it out of the way so we can get around that without causing our cut to go off center. Hopefully. Well, what do you think, guys? It's not too bad, actually, especially for me. Now we just got to deburr that. It'll be all right for our ram air setup. I'll let you guys have a better look at that. Not too bad. I've done worse cuts. All right, so we don't have $400 to put like a really nice power pipe on this car. And I mean, you're probably saying $400. Well, by the time I buy stuff here in the Great White North, that's what it's going to cost me. So that's not really what Swamp Thing is about either. Swamp Thing's about budget and doing with what you have, right? Actually, Altered Stangs as a whole is kind of like that. People may say this is hokey and backyard and whatever, but it's going to work. Did some trimming because I don't want it to point down as much like that. That's about the best I'm going to be able to get it though. Alright, so our headlight assembly kind of goes on a bit of an angle, the way it works. I'm going to use my straight edge as best I can. It's actually pretty tough. This top part's going to be a little bit easier, thankfully. Or a lot easier. I mean, if you had a nice car and you were going to do this, you'd want to put some painter's tape here if you're using metal straight edge like I am. So what I want to do is cut this on an angle like the original headlight, also across here, so I can carve a, what size is this anyway? It's 4-inch back there, I know, but it flares out here 4.5 inch. So I'll cut a 4.5 inch hole in an old headlight, be able to put it right over top, and hopefully it won't look as bad as it does right now. All in all though, I think it'll be a pretty cool setup. All right, so next thing we got to do the Swamp Thing, since I cut the door beams out and I had to take the window regulators out, now I got to rivet these back in. So okay. So I just used some painter's tape to hold that window up because it wanted to fall down on me. Like we were never in there. Alright guys, I'm still working on Swamp. It's Sunday afternoon. One of the things I had to do was get the motor mounts out. Now if you can see, this motor mount is kind of torn away from itself and dropped down. It's touching right at the bottom there. If you can see, that's on an angle. So I'm using my cell phone as a light because I don't have any lights in the shop yet. And all I can say is thank goodness for this UPR tubular K-member, because man, it makes things a lot easier. There's just so much more room to work around this thing. So Swamp Thing's engine's sitting quite a bit different now. Don't know how well you can see that in the video, but the mount is twisted on an angle. It's actually bottomed out against the clamshell. This is the driver's, no, that was the driver's side one that looks like that. Here's the passenger side one. It's twisted. So you can see down in there the huge gap. And then the rubber's all tore and it's pushed down, touching the clamshell on this side, but not on this side. All I can say is that's maybe one too many fuel limiter launches. But I picked up a used set of energy suspension motor mounts the other day for 120 bucks. Got those in there and we should be good to go. And the engine's sitting quite a bit different than it used to, so I cut our ram air based on how the engine was sitting before, so I hope there's not too much difference now that the new mounts are installed. If I remember right, this was almost touching the shock tower. Swamp's ready to go, but the truck's not. We lost the rear brakes and I won't have time to fix it before tomorrow morning, so. 100 bucks worth of diesel, didn't even fill it from a quarter of a tank, and if we want some premium for Swamp Thing, we're $1.80 a liter. In the end, we were rained out anyway. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.